let's get back to Discord and hear from a few more people. Why don't we go to Haman from Boston? Haman from Boston, welcome to the David Pakman Show. What's going on? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
You are. Thank you for taking my call, David. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you so much. So I just had a few questions for you about the Israeli-Gaza war, and I wanted to get more clarification on that because I haven't heard you address this on your program. So I'll have three questions for you. So the first one is, what is your plan, or what plan would you think would be the best for getting more aid into Gaza? Since I've heard on the news that there's been a lot of problems with like getting enough food, and a lot of people are like hungry and food insecure there because of the war. And then my second question
Let's
was,
take them one at a time. Can we take them one at a
sure.
time?
Absolutely.
So I would say three things on aid. I would say number one, continued and more pressure on the Netanyahu administration to allow aid in. Number two, look at the possibility of working with Egypt, which has a border with Gaza, but has its own reasons for not wanting to get involved. And number three, look at bringing it in directly from the water on the coast, which the U.S. is now doing. Those would be my three ideas.
I see. And then I guess kind of relating to that, would you support like a permanent ceasefire in Gaza right now?
I would absolutely support a permanent ceasefire if both sides were willing to do it. As I've said before, and as Bernie has said, and Hamas has said, they will continue trying to do the attacks like on October 7th. So practically, I don't know how you do such a ceasefire, but I would completely support an end to hostilities if both sides were willing and stuck to it. Yes.
Gotcha. And my final question was, I'm assuming your answer will be no. So I'm assuming that you don't support a ground invasion of Rafah. Is that correct?
No, I don't.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much for answering my questions and taking all.
All right. Haman from Boston, thank you for the call. Let's go next to, I don't know. How about Kenji from Iowa? Kenji from Iowa, welcome to the program. What are you thinking about today? What's on your mind?
I had a silly question, but what do you think would happen if, and I'm not even sure if this is just an SEC rule or if it's a law that protects investors. Well, what do you think would happen if they change the priority of protection to protect the consumer first?
You're saying which law? Are you talking about the fiduciary responsibility of publicly traded companies?
Exactly. So what do you think would happen if they changed it so that they would instead protect consumers first?
So I think it would be very so I guess first of all, I don't even know what the legal basis would be for such a change. It sounds really tough to me, but I think the change that's discussed more often is a responsibility to all stakeholders. And when you say all stakeholders, you include not only shareholders, but also customers, citizens of the planet who would be affected by pollution, employees. So I like the stakeholders idea, even though on a legal basis, I don't know how we change any of this stuff. I am not convinced it would necessarily be the win it sounds like, because I think what you would end up with is a lot of companies continuing to prioritize the returns of shareholders, but now getting involved in all sorts of subterfuge and distortions to explain why what they're doing is actually great for the consumer, even if it's not. So I love the idea. I wonder whether it really would actually, would it just open up a black hole of litigation where people argue about what actually is best for the consumer and companies saying, no, this is what's best for the consumer, when in reality it's best for the shareholder? I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I thought about employees as well, and how companies are incentivized to let's say move a plant to China.
Yeah.
Because they're looking out for the shareholders.
Right.
And then as a result, it's hurting consumers.
Yep.
Or it's hurting the employees as well as hurting people that live in this country, and so on and so forth. But thank you. That's a really good answer. And I wanted to ask you one other quick question. Why isn't it the standard to ask in town halls and things like that to ask hypothetical questions? Because I feel that, those are the questions. I feel like they matter a lot
It's a cop
because,
out.
like,
Elected officials and candidates, they don't want to answer hypothetical questions because it's often just downside. You risk turning people off or causing a problem for yourself in the future. So many elected
mhm,
officials have come up with this, I don't answer hypothetical questions. And it's like, you really should, it's some of the most
right.
important, some of the best way to figure out what you believe is to answer hypothetical questions. But it's a talking point that they've all fallen into and that is considered acceptable, sadly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking my call, David.
All right, Kenji from Iowa. Great to hear from you.